Okay. Hi, everyone. We're here again with you today for our usual Friday get together. We talk about what's new and coming up with lipedema, but this is kind of an usual Facebook live and YouTube live and everything else that we're doing because we have our very special event coming up in just 1 week. So we wanted to make sure everybody knew about that and some actually some neat things that are going to be happening during the event. So we want to make sure you know about that because you're going to want to be there. So that's our heart to heart, our virtual heart to heart that's coming up this April 12, 13, and 14. It is not this weekend, but next weekend, starting on next Friday. And the link is below. Be sure and click that and register. Come with us. So this event is going to be talking about everything about nutrition for lipedema and lymphedema. So it is Keto and Beyond, customizing your plan to joyful nutrition. It is going to be a spectacular event. We have some wonderful speakers, but also we need you because you need to be part of that conversation. Catherine, can you tell people a little bit about why our events are so unique?
So we started out, actually, the very first one was in California with 7 of us in a hotel room. That's when it started. I was in my grad program, and we had 7 or 8 lippy ladies come, and that was the beginning. And then it grew, and we started in November of 2020 because we were going to Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yes, I think that's right. Yes.
We had
it was about a nanosecond that we were considering that before all of the proverbial crap hit the fan. So
right. We had a contract. We had signed it. I remember you and I going over menus and is this keto? Is that keto? And coming up with all kinds of things. And then everything went on shutdown. And so, not unlike other people in this arena, in this field, people started to go online and to do virtual conferences. And we went virtual. The first one we had was November 2020. And it was spectacular and successful beyond our wildest dreams. Honestly, we had 1,000 people in attendance. It's the first one, and so people were coming from all over the world.
Yes, and we had speakers from all over the world.
And it was amazing. The speakers presented. We'd have a short, sometimes not so short, Q&A and discussion, a short break, and then we'd have another speaker. And that is very typical of how conferences run. Conferences run that we're there and there's a very large audience or not so large audience, but there's an audience where the focus is on the speaker. And we did that for a couple of years. And then with so much of us, so many of us, and so much of what we were doing online, we began to look at that there was an opportunity that we were not taking full advantage of. And that opportunity had to do with the level of interaction and connectivity of the audience peer to peer. Years ago, when I got into technology, that's one of the reasons I got into technology. I loved the promise of being able to connect with people everywhere and to learn. And we started to implement that a couple of years ago. And so what makes what we do very different is throughout the entire event, we have opportunities for people to connect peer to peer. What does that mean? That means we get into small breakout rooms. We have members in the community that have offered to come, and they help facilitate if anyone needs any support on the technical part or any part. But we have the opportunity to talk to one another about what, first of all, what the speaker is sharing, how it relates to our personal experience, what have we learned, what works, what might not work, and how do we share that so that it really helps the learning process, because it's our personal experience. Dr. Carmody always says the wisdom is within. The wisdom is within the patient. The patient we know our bodies like no one else knows our bodies. So sometimes just entering into that conversation can clarify things for people. Yeah. So our events are very special.
And so it's that collaboration that gives everybody the opportunity to both give and to receive. We need you to be part of that conversation because you have something of value to share, and we want to assist you. We want you to get something of value by being there. What are going to be your next steps? What would you like to explore more? That's what you're going to find out about. We just have some wonderful speakers, Carrie Reedy, who is our medical nutritionist from Australia. And she is going to be talking about, what are the social challenges of changing your diet and having your diet different from everybody else? Brian Wiley is another coach. I think he works for Dr. Tro Kalajian, and he is going to be talking about how do you change this way of eating perhaps to keto on a budget, and how do you make it sustainable? We're going to have Dr. Gabrielle Ferber is going to be speaking. She's in Germany, and she's been using keto, a protein optimized keto for her patients with lipedema for over 15 years. You can see right up there also Dr. Georgia Eid. She is going to be she is a metabolic psychiatrist, I guess you would call her. She is in Harvard trained psychiatry, and she uses nutrition to help with your mental health. Just absolutely amazing speakers. We'll have a patient panel of people sharing their stories, which is always of a huge value. And I would also like to say that we listen to you, and we know the topics that you would like to hear more on. And so one thing that we added on the urging of Lisa Dwary, our managing, what is her title?
Managing director.
Managing director. And also with Catherine suggested this, that we need to talk about these weight loss drugs that are now coming out into being. And so the semaglutide, and so you're looking at Wegovy and all the various ones. And so we're going to have a panel talking about that, because people want to know, is this okay if you have a lymphatic disorder, if you have lipedema, if you have lymphedema? Can I use these drugs, and what might be the impact, and what are some things that I need to learn and explore? So these are the things that you want to know about, and we want to hear what you already know about them, and we want you to be able to share that with your peers in these small groups.
And
Catherine, showing you the website right there on how you can find out more and how you can register.
So we usually end the early bird bonus, and we're not going to. I just can't bring myself up to putting it up to full price. So we're going to leave this until next week. So be sure to join, because you're never going to get that good a deal again. I promise you. Yeah.
Could you show our fabulous sponsors? We have got some really wonderful sponsors that are, and collaborators that are participating in this event. And so, and some that you might have heard from, and some that may be new to you. Because SciFox Health, a relatively new organization that does blood testing that you can do from home. You don't have to go out to the lab. You might already know about Waries and Juzo compression garment companies, and both Koya and Eros are compression pump companies. Keto Chow has been with us for a long time, and they do meal replacement shakes, keto shakes, that type of thing. Of course, Own Your Labs has been with us for a long time also. That's owned by Siobhan Huggins and Dave Feldman. And they do basically, you control what labs you want to get done. So that's a pretty neat thing. And they actually collaborate with SciFox. Talk about some of the other ones, Catherine.
The ketone, original ketones.
Yes.
It's so interesting because when I first learned about keto, it was generally believed that exogenous ketones were not good. Well, we've learned that they can sometimes be very, very helpful. And Leslyn and Siobhan, under the umbrella of the Lipedema Project, have done a short study, a citizen science study, where there were a number of women who used the ketones, and they reported out at a recent conference in Las Vegas in March. And so they are sponsoring us. The Natural Wellness Boston is Brian Haywood, who has been supporting the community around pain management. He works with organic CBD, which has helped so many. And I want to also add to Keto Chow, because Keto Chow's recently come out with magnesium, sodium, potassium, electrolytes.
Electrolyte, yeah, salty, yes.
And they came out with a product that helps keep the electrolytes in balance, because it's a big thing. You really need to make sure you do that. Did you mention Juzo? Because
Yep.
Okay, good.
And we should say, that several of these up here are actually our silver level sponsors, and that would be Juzo, SciFox, Own Your Labs,
Eros.
and Eros they really are supporting us, giving us a lot of support. But of course, we love working with all of our collaborators. So there'll be, when you're at the event, a lot of our collaborators and sponsors are providing discounts and free stuff and various things like that. So you'll be able to learn more about each of those sponsors at the event.
We have gamification.
Yes, we do.
If you, when you explore the dashboard, you get points, and there's a leaderboard. And I actually love doing it, because when you get points on the leaderboard, you get prizes. I'm definitely a kid.
So be sure and click on that link below and register. Join us. We need you there. It's going to be a huge opportunity for learning and sharing and really improving your quality of life. So we really look forward to seeing you there.
And let's see. There's one more thing, and then we're going to actually wrap up on time today. But I'm going to ask Leslyn to share about it, because it's so exciting. And hold on, let me get the link.
Okay.
There's the link.
And so what Catherine would like me to share about is I reviewed this paper at my Research Update Facebook Live that I did yesterday, because Catherine and I have published a paper where the top 2 articles on the paper, a collaboration between 10 authors. So it's pretty exciting that this paper has finally been published. We've been working on it for, I'm going to say, more than a couple of years, probably at least several years. Yes. So it's a proposed framework for research, a research case definition of lipedema, meaning that we're setting down a definition for lipedema that can be used to put people into a lipedema group and a comparison or control group. And so and this is really vital for when you're doing research, because If you have people that really shouldn't be in the lipedema group, that's going to change your results. If there are people in the comparison control group that shouldn't be there, that can really change your results. So this is a way to strengthen the evidence and find out more about lipedema by having this definition. But as we were writing the paper and we were describing how to test for and see if someone actually had these various characteristics and symptoms that are associated with lipedema, we found that, wow, this can also be used by the clinician. The clinician could use this paper to say, oh, okay, this is how I test and assess someone to see if they have lipedema. Or if no, they don't have lipedema and maybe something else is going on. This can help that clinician be able to diagnose more accurately whether or not someone has lipedema. So although this paper was directed towards the researcher, we feel like the use of it can be for a much wider audience, and it may ultimately help people get a diagnosis.
I actually was thinking, Leslyn, and I think this is the forerunner to the book that we're working on. We're working on a book, you guys. It's going to be, it won't be out for quite
Until
a few months.
2025, yeah.
January. It's right now the publisher has it scheduled for January of 2025. But more to come. There are going to be, there's an opportunity you don't want to miss at the conference.
Yes.
But part of it is here, and I'm trying to get to it. Here's the application. So if you look at this, agreed upon characteristics and additional evidence, right here, you have what is used for diagnosis.
Yes.
This is what is used for an accurate diagnosis of lipedema.
Yes.
And so, that's a good foundation for us to actually, the work that we're doing is for clinicians, but I always find it so helpful, even as a patient. So, this says ahead of print. This is online. You can get it right now. The link is in the, I think I put it in the chat. If not, I'm going to do it right now. But I wanted you to take a look at it because when I looked at it, I'm like, oh my God, it's so gorgeous. It's really beautiful. I never saw anything quite so beautiful.
Yeah, it's nice to see a lot of hard work come to fruition. And so we're pretty excited to have this and it's open access. So as Catherine said, you just click on the link and you will be able to get that entire paper. It's not behind a paywall. You do not have to pay for it. You can, anybody can get that paper. But of course, any questions about anything we're talking about today, be sure and email us. Someone said, congrats on the case definition paper. It's a game changer for research and will have a global impact. And we have to agree. We think so too. I think that this is really going to help a lot of people. We're pretty excited to be able to contribute this way to the community. Let me just tell you my email, Leslyn at lipedemaproject.org. Sorry. And so if you have any comments, questions, feel free to email me. Catherine is Catherine with a C at lipedema-simplified.org. Also, we field emails all the time. We love talking with the community. And by communicating with you, we find out what you want us to do. Because at Lipedema Simplified and Lipedema Project, that is our goal. We want to increase awareness, and we are trying to find out what the needs of the community are. So we love it when you contact us and let us know, that you appreciate what we're doing and also what your needs are. So thank you so much for being here today. Catherine, did I miss anything else that you want to share with people?
No, I'm just trying to type listen and do everything all at once.
Right. And Catherine she's definitely multitasking because she's also running the tech for what we're doing right now. And so, I find it amazing that people can talk, type, and do tech things. It's totally amazing. So,
okay, there's Leslyn.
Yes, you've got our emails. Wonderful.
And there's my email.
And there's Catherine. And they're also below, they're in the comments below. So feel free to contact us. We'd love to hear from you.
And oh my God, what a week. Just to let people know, we will not be doing our Facebook Live next Friday, because next Friday we'll be in the event.
The event will be happening. And remember too, that we've got that calendar now. So if you go to our website, lipedema-simplified.org, up in the right-hand corner, there is a button that says calendar. And in that calendar, you will find for pretty much every day of the week, there is some event or something happening, and it gives you the link right in that calendar. So you know when it's happening and you have access to getting to it. So check out our calendar and join us.
Join us. It will be lovely to see you. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. See you